Welcome to the 98th episode of Candid Conversations, ladies and gentlemen.
I,
And
I, I.
on
Sorry.
today, don't be, don't be.
uh,
And we have Tanya Vividly, and there's no need to ask
yep.
why. She's Vividly.
That's funny. Sorry.
that was
That's
that
funny.
was possibly one of the greatest responses from an introduction I've gotten on all of the podcasts I've done. That was
That's
great.
awesome. That's
That
awesome.
was great.
That's
Oh
funny.
man. So I mean, like, we're here for the 98th episode of Candid Conversations. We got Tanya Vividly here, and we are going to get into the business about, her latest developments, like who she is, you know what I mean, what she means to the Niagara region, the world as at large, you know what I mean, and you know, the stuff that we've done in these past few weeks, and we might let you into a little bit of what could be happening in the weeks to come. But yeah, yeah, I'm gonna let you know what's gonna be happening in the weeks to come. So, all right. So Tanya, how are you doing today? Am I saying it right? Because like I've heard Tanya, I've heard Tanya,
Tanya.
Tanya. Yeah, I thought so. I
But
thought
at the
so.
same time, to me, like, it connects to the same person, which is me. If you were
Yeah.
saying it very like, so I had this teacher that I remember, I don't know, maybe like grade school, that she'd be like, Tanya, like she's nasally.
Oh,
I
oh.
hated it. So because of
Mm-mm.
that, I was always like, boom on people for how they said it. But sometimes people that will say it, it just sounds cool. They're like, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you could say that. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay. Yeah, I
So
just kind of.
really, it just all depends. Yeah.
All right, all right. Well, it's a good thing I'm past that stage in life. 'Cause I'm not gonna lie, I gave Screech a run for his money. Uh,
Oh, shit.
oh
That's
yeah,
funny.
that was a frequency roller coaster. Oh my
That's funny.
goodness. Like it was
Well, you
like yeah,
gotta get your frequencies, balanced.
true,
So until then,
true.
So
It was like you ever hear someone that doesn't know how to play a saxophone try? That was me.
yeah,
That was me talking for most of junior and high school.
nice,
That,
nice,
no,
nice,
actually, I think I got halfway through high school and then like I actually got a smooth tone and I was just like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna run
hmm
with this one.
nice, nice. That's good. Good, good.
Oh man, oh my goodness. So, oh man, this was it. Just not this Sunday past, but the Sunday before. Has it already been a week?
Oh, I know. It's everything is just whoo
Jeez,
fast,
wow.
fast.
Like we're diving into summer. We
Mm-hmm.
got a special event that's happening in August. We're gonna touch base on that.
Mm-hmm.
But like I want to hear it from you. How did you feel seeing? No, wait. Before we
Okay.
get into this past Sunday, let's talk about you.
Okay.
What is it? And I mean this with the utmost of respect because in the short period of time that I've known you, I've seen you with very many hats on.
Yes.
What is it that you do?
I know, right? Um, I would actually say I just happen to always be where I'm supposed to be, which is the right place at the right time. That's what
Nice,
I think.
nice.
Yeah.
That
And I
is that.
hope that I'm trying to bring and bridge, make a bridge instead of building walls. You know what I mean?
Yep,
So
yep, yep,
no I
yep.
in team. So
No, no,
yeah.
definitely, definitely. It reminds me of this line. It's like I work wherever I'm at kind of thing.
Hmm.
That's one of the lyrics I
Yeah.
put in one of my songs. So, all right. So I guess what is it you have the most fun doing in your multiple roles?
Hmm. I will say, I think what my catch is kind of people that are seen or perceived as maybe, we'll say, like the underdog. I
Okay,
look at underdogs, never second guess them, because it's
okay.
timing, the right people, and the right motives.
Hmm.
And to me, when your heart is pure, you just do good. You just try to do good. That's it.
That is so
And
true.
it's,
That
yeah, it has nothing to do with me or whatever percent. Like, no, 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 no. I'm a big believer of, if I want to eat, why can't you eat too? Why not? You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that to the point where literally it's funny that you mentioned that or use that as an analogy because what's happening in August has to do with eating.
Oh, there you go. Hey.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, it's I'm just giving y'all hints as we go along. We'll see if y'all pick up the hint and guess. Feel free to guess. If you guess and you're in the region, you might get yourself a free entry to this event, which is going to be limited to I have to say 20 people if we're allowed,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be spaced out properly because there are guidelines and directions that
True.
have to be adhered
True.
to.
True.
Like
But
I'm
in our
being
mind, it's a bashment.
yes,
Yes.
I'm being very high chested. I'm being overzealous. I'm aiming, and it's like that 3 point shot I took a couple seasons ago. Shout out to the
Mm-hmm.
River Lions. I just got my custom
What?
jersey. Oh man, I
What?
gotta bust that out the next time. I think I'm gonna have to
Nice.
wait until next season to bust it out, but I have it, so we're good. But
Nice.
yeah, I took a shot from half court, and
Ooh.
it rimmed out. It went to the right, and it was just like I was
Ooh.
the closest one all year, but at the same time, I wasn't close enough for my liking. So, you
Oh,
know, I gotta step it up for next time I'm out, and
nice.
I have a good opportunity to
True.
do some good things. So
Mm-hmm.
I got to shout out the staff who have been so courteous in handling these transactions, and you know what I mean. Like I feel like the money's in a good place. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some franchises or organizations where you're just like, yeah, really, I don't really mess with you because you don't. I get a vibe and it's not a good one. You know what I mean.
True.
But these guys, I'm just like, yeah, sure, here you go. Why not?
Nice.
Go ahead.
Nice.
You
Yeah,
know what I
nice.
mean?
No, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. So just running with that, and like I said, it's just a real good vibe, and like we need our local sports teams to be supported. I mean, you see how, and I hate the comparison, but you see how America does their sports.
Of course.
Oh
Of
my
course.
gosh,
Of
it's
course.
madness. They
Of
go like
course.
their local team.
Tailgates, all that stuff. It's madness. Yeah.
Oh my
But
gosh,
everybody's into it.
yes,
Everybody.
yes. Like you go to the local, like the local franchise to every city is the best team in the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who it is. Like
Mm-hmm.
you go to Oklahoma, that team is the greatest in the country. And you go to
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska, they think their team is the greatest, and
Mm-hmm.
they all fight. And some of the teams are straight up trash,
Well, of
but they
course.
fight every season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? They gonna
Mm-hmm.
win something. So you
Mm-hmm.
gotta give them credit where it's due.
Oh yeah, no. It's such a trip. Like I remember being in New York where like I don't know, I don't even know what the team was. What it was on a Sunday, but it was like everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, this is happening!" And like you know what I mean. Everybody's ordering all their big food, and it didn't matter from the smallest person. Everybody was into it, and you're like, "Wow," because we don't see that kind of stuff here. So it's funny. It's very funny. That's a
Definitely.
gallon that you're drinking. Woo!
A whole gallon.
Yeah.
A motivational gallon. I mean, you
Hey.
see, at first, I didn't real like. I've always heard and always advocated for water and told people, it's important, drink it, yada yada yada, right?
Hmm.
And I thought because I had this one 32-ounce bottle,
Hmm.
I drink like two of those,
Okay.
thinking, okay, that's good for the day. When I heard how much I'm actually supposed to be drinking at my mass, you know what I mean? I
True.
realized I took it and I poured it in. Like the 32-ounce bottle
Yeah.
fills this if I use it like 8 times, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 8 or 10 times, I think this
Wow.
holds. So I'm just like, I've been under drinking. This
Hmm.
is, this is, and they say black coffee counts, but at the same time, even that, I was only drinking like 2 cups of.
Hmm. That's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair.
yeah. So, what got you into, I'm going to call it artist advocacy?
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I'm gonna put that in
Mm,
my phone. Artist advocacy. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So I think well, how did I get into to be honest, I really just think it was probably just being around people, all
Hmm.
assortments, seeing things that they go through and going, shit, that's fucked up. Like you know what I mean?
That's
Or
great.
watching certain things and going, that's fuckery right there. Like you know what I
Oh,
mean?
man.
But
Yep,
it's
yep.
not happening to me, but I'm going, are you gonna let that happen? What kind of shit? Yeah.
If I could,
So And
Yes.
that happens all the time. And people kind of just shrug their shoulders. Well, it didn't happen to me. But I was like, no, that was from fuckery. Are they not going to get beat down for that? Like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
nothing happened. So I was like, yeah, that's messed up. Or later I'd go, so how close, like, why did you let that happen? And they're like, well, my record. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Yeah. So I think that's how it happened personally.
Oh my goodness. That is, I don't know if it was something like, I don't even remember what it was, to be honest. That is awesome because I could totally relate to that situation. And I think that's why I advocate in general, but like, especially for artists because, or the underdog, like, because you see there's so many people out there that, like, for me, I don't know if I've said this to you before, but I feel like the Nick Fury of the Niagara region trying to assemble the Avengers.
Yeah,
Because,
you said that. Yeah.
yeah, there's so many talented people out here
Hmm.
that have a gift, that are doing their own thing and doing good individually, but could do so much better if they put one or two things aside and work with the collective.
Yeah. Well, because I think nowadays people are kind of sold on the idea that the collective is not a good thing. And it's like,
Mm,
actually no, it really is a good thing if you have the right collective.
exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing. There's too many poisoned minds out there thinking for themselves instead of just
Mhm.
saying, "Hey,
Mhm.
you know what?" It's like, there's one of the things that I reasons one of the reasons I started these podcasts was because I looked at it and I had my catalog of instrumentals and I had my catalog of songs and I had my catalog of artists that I work with and I had a catalog of, you know what I mean, so my videos, and it's just like, but who the fuck's gonna play this shit for me
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's gonna play this for me now? So I was just like,
Yeah.
okay. So then I looked into the audio podcasting for the audio stuff, and then video podcasting became a thing, and then I started that, and then I was like, okay, people are probably getting tired of me now. What else can I do? Let's
Mm.
expose the North. Let's get more people on here. Let's play their
Yeah.
stuff. Let's, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Okay, you know what? Canada doesn't really want to work with me too tough. Not even that they don't want to work with me, but they're a little slow on the uptake. I'm gonna work with America for a little bit.
Yeah.
Got so many artists from these sites, letsbeef.com.
Mhm.
Basically, they have like 170,000 artists on there, kind
Oh
of thing.
wow.
So that was like a deep catalog. I worked with them from their inception,
Hmm.
and it became a thing. So it was like I saw like opportunity in creating an outlet for other individuals
Mhm.
and using my channel, I guess, as that outlet.
Mhm.
And at first, it was just playing the music,
Yeah.
but like I started to show like this kind of conversations to get to know and better understand people like you, who
Mm. Yeah.
are an integral part of the scene and working with multiple artists and moving and shaking in the mix, but haven't really been seen because of either how quick you're moving or
Mhm.
because you're moving in stealth on purpose.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like sometimes you have to,
Well,
because
yeah.
yeah,
Because in the end, as I said, yes, it could be about me, but actually, let's, you know, move the
hmm
camera to them because
yeah,
they need to be heard. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yep,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then I also, well, my background also is business management. So I kind of took that and said, the art scene, and I found a way to make it work. You know what I mean? Because it's like, so in the end, you're doing something that doesn't feel like work. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? And I think
yeah,
that's the point. And then, your friends, like, especially when your friends are good at their craft. And then you're like, oh my gosh, they want you to follow this piece of, you know what I mean? This piece of
yeah,
shit over here, which doesn't give a shit about anybody. F them. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that was my kind of thing. So,
Oh my goodness, that's too true. That's
yeah,
too
because it
true.
happens all the time. It doesn't matter what the genre. Just, yeah.
Yep, yep. It
And then
like
when you hear their shit, you're like, really? Shit. Or it's because they got money. They can like funnel it hard. And you're just like, oh, fuck. Yeah. It's not good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's person power to profit power.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like It's just you got to have those people that are passionate about what they're doing, like you said, to
True.
get the best results. I find like even with this magazine, there's like I put out an all call for the
Mm-hmm.
Culture Shock magazine because
Mm-hmm.
it's not about me, it's about all of us. I'm giving
True.
everybody an opportunity to respectfully, you know what I mean, write up an article, express who they are, what they do, and you know how they congregate with the community
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So um I put out an all call in the first week. And some people reach out to me and I get a good response, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But then I have people that wait till the 11th hour
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, it's like, okay, like there's some people, well, you understand, okay, you're busy, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? When you have the time, take the time,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And there's some people where it's just like, okay, what are you really doing with your life that you can't, like, that,
Yeah.
come on,
Yeah.
come on. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said you were serious about this stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've
Mm-hmm.
been waiting like 3 weeks now. Come on,
True.
come on.
True.
And you can't call them out on it because they're too sensitive. I know
Yeah, that's true too.
I indirectly did, but
Well, they know who they are.
they know who they are. You
Mm-hmm.
can't name names because there's
Mm-hmm.
sensitivities, and
Mm-hmm.
out of respect won't name names because I understand individual circumstances. But it's just like, how many times do you say, "Hey, I'm gonna do something that you don't do," and expect someone to wait for you to do it?
Yeah.
Do this, this,
Yeah.
this.
True.
Which brings me to government. Hey guys,
Mm-hmm.
there's still some sidewalks out here you need to fix. That's all for now. And if it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't get done this year, it'll be much more next year. I assure you. Signed, everyone in this community.
Yep. That's it. That's it. That's
So,
funny.
oh my goodness, I just find ways like the one of the board of directors. This is a side note. One of the board of
Yeah.
directors was outside. He was getting rid of the weeds.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my wife are sitting on the porch. Me and the wife and Jer sitting on the porch, and we're talking well and loud enough for him to hear our
That's so funny.
discrepancies. Cause we want him to know, hey, this like you. I don't even want to tell you how much I've paid in
Mm-hmm.
the uh, just ballparking. I've lived here for 9 years,
Mm-hmm.
going on 10. Just you know what I mean? Just
Mm-hmm.
any like that's an extended period of time where a regular amount has been contributed to an entity that has done this much.
Yeah.
Mm-mm,
Hmm.
mm-mm. We got to stop doing that. We gotta stop giving these businesses money for nothing.
Hmm. That's it. Actually, it's correct. Actually.
Like
Yeah.
I'm ready to start my war on capitalism again.
Mm.
Like there's some things I believe in, and I'll you know what I mean. Like, okay, I see you're a necessary evil. You
Mm.
facilitate what I require in a time efficient manner. I don't mind. There's some people where they're just like they take their time, and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
no, no,
Mm-hmm.
no. We gotta get back at these businesses. We gotta start shopping local.
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of shopping local, I had the opportunity to do so this week.
Nice.
Yes, like I mean, I jumped on this as soon as I heard it. It was a man by well, Emmanuel, a man by the name of Emmanuel, the
Mm-hmm.
founder and CEO of Ton Up Hot Sauce
Yes.
and
Turn up.
Apparel.
Turn up.
Ton Up Hot Sauce and
Mm-hmm.
Apparel.
Ay, 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 ay,
Uh,
ay.
what's it? It's what is it? Their slogan. Oh man, gotta find the slogan. But the man was a very humble individual. He was such a good character. We had a good
Mm-hmm.
conversation.
Nice.
Talked about some future opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I think we're gonna see where things go because I like I like the. I never really was big on hot sauce or pepper
Okay.
sauce,
Mm-hmm.
but I had an experience that changed my mind about it.
Hmm.
I've always known the good benefits of it, but I've never really thought about having fun with it.
Mm,
So,
interesting.
yeah.
Mm.
So, we kind of have a couple, well, we have a sponsor, Soulicious Pepper Sauce.
Mm-hmm. Big up.
So
Big
worth the
up.
heat. You know what I mean? Gotta pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
And but we're looking to expand our menu, our palette because we had another idea
Okay.
well, we got another idea from Ching Ching fame. he was on a podcast a couple weeks ago,
Okay.
and he came up with this idea. He came up with this idea. We all co-signed on it, and ever since then, in the back of my mind, it's kind of been coming to fruition a little bit by a little
Ooh.
bit because like when you presented Emmanuel to me, I was just
Mhm.
like, okay, cool. That would add another flavor to the menu kind of thing.
Mhm.
And then I
Mhm.
see there's
Mhm.
3 flavors, so that's already between the two businesses, five
Nice.
different
Nice.
flavors of this delicacy that we can offer. You know what I
Nice.
mean? So
Community building. It's about that.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So um that was so that see there's it's not even just artist advocacy, it's advocacy in general because
Mhm.
and recognition too because I've talked to dozens of people
Mhm.
and not everybody has drawn those parallels, just like, oh hey,
Mm.
he's doing this, let's you
Mm.
know what I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true
like
too. That's true.
I
Mhm.
if I see someone stepping backwards towards something and they gonna trip, I'm gonna move
Mhm.
the thing that's gonna trip them. It's
Oh,
just
of
my
course.
nature.
Of course.
Some people gonna put their foot out.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Or
Hmm.
you try to kind of like block it so then they don't fall. They fall on you, you know? I think I
Yep.
would do that. Yeah.
Yep. 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 Yep.
And be
Yep.
like, oh shit, you good? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. We went for a hike the other day. Oh my, I'm
ooh.
still on it. It was okay. I had to recollect myself.
Okay.
Okay, so Rockaway Falls. Have you ever heard of it?
Yes.
Have you ever been there?
No.
Okay. I'm telling you, if you
Mm.
ever go there, make sure you have grip on your shoes
Mm.
and that you wear gloves.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Just in case
Mm-hmm.
you go on on the experience trail.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, out with the fam, we're walking. We see this couple. We're walking for like a good half an hour, 40
Mm-hmm.
minutes. We see this couple with their dog.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got a dog here.
Mm-hmm.
Brats.
Mm-hmm.
I can do whatever a dog can do. I'm a human.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yay me. So I'm looking at this dog like, okay, I've won. And then um, they're like, okay, you're almost there. So we're like, awesome,
Mm-hmm.
cool. So then we walk, we're like, all right, thanks. We walk a couple feet in past them and just like, but wait, almost where?
That's funny.
Look up, there's like this 50-foot cliff.
Hmm.
That's the waterfall. I'm
Wow.
like in amazement, just
Wow.
because I like one of my bucket list goals is to see all of as many of the natural waterfalls
Hmm.
in, at least Ontario as I can, right? Because I heard there's like 88 along the 403.
Hmm.
So we go now and we're looking for the trail. We're looking for like a level terrain, like an open something. And all we could see is like this channel
Mm-hmm.
close to the wall of the falls.
Oh wow.
So then we got to go through this, and it's like a channel of trees. So
Okay.
you see the tree roots,
Mm-hmm.
like the roots,
Mm-hmm.
and you can grab one root here, and there's like a root here. It's like a root system, basically.
Wow.
But the thing is, it's like this steep,
Wow.
yeah,
Hmm.
the whole
Mm-mm.
way up, the whole 50
Wow.
feet up. I have never been so scared for and proud of my family at the same time.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a feat that I didn't think I was capable of,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, cuz like we stood there for a good 10, 15 minutes like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, are we going to go back? I'm like, we
Mm-hmm.
need not even we stood there for 15
Mm-hmm.
minutes. I stood there for 15 minutes trying to convince them we should go back.
That's so funny. That's funny. That's funny.
And they were having none of it. They were
Yeah,
like,
that's
nah,
funny.
we're already this far. If we go back, we got to go all the way around the route and stuff. No, we going up. I said
Mm-hmm.
up. They're like up. I said up. They go up.
But
If
I
it's
do get
up,
it. Yeah, because if you're already halfway there, you might as well. Yeah.
it was 90% of the way there. It was just the last
Mm,
10%, which was up. And I'm just like,
Mm-mm.
'Cause, like, I'm 285.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't trying to fall
Mm-hmm.
anywhere. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to fall from a standing position, let alone
Mm-hmm.
50 feet from level terrain. It's
True.
just,
True.
plus,
True.
like that, yeah, it's just, no, no.
That's funny.
So it was like when we got to the top, I was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
pushed everybody up.
Accomplishment.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I've never, like, I'm still talking about it. This happened 2, 3 weeks ago.
Nice.
You know
Nice.
what I mean? Like, it's an adrenaline rush. It was like,
Nice.
I don't think I've ever, like, the only other physical feat that I've accomplished of that worthy mention is coming out of a car accident with my life and
Whoa.
playing the whole season of football, both offensive, defensive, and special teams.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Not bad.
yeah, and that was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Nice.
yeah, yeah,
Nice.
it felt good. So,
Accomplishments feel good.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I usually set 5 for the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember you
Yeah,
said that. That's good.
yeah, yeah,
That's good.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Nice.
so this thing, this is, I wanna mention it, but I'm gonna wait for a bit.
Oh, really?
Tonneofhotsauce.com. Yeah,
Oh,
y'all
yes.
gotta check them out. They are, like I said, when I meet good people, I like to tell people about them. You know what I
That's
mean?
it.
And I don't do it with any intention of anything but, reciprocating the good that I can.
Did you
Man,
pick up the pineapple flavor?
I got all three.
Nice.
I
Nice.
got all three.
Nice.
I said, yo, let me
Nice.
let me try this. So I think we're gonna break them out on we might break them out this Saturday, or I don't know if I can save them until the show.
Mm.
Oops.
Hmm.
So let's
Maybe
see.
even having him on the show.
Well, since we're talking about it, as it is scheduled right now,
Hmm.
August 21st,
Okay.
fingers crossed and the
Hmm.
world opens up, we
Okay.
will be hosting the ton of hot sauce for a cookout.
Nice. Nice.
Yes, yes.
Nice.
So
It'd be
I want to
cool to have like Ton Up, um,
Soulicious.
yeah, Soulicious, and maybe a couple others do like a competition. Not even a friendly competition. You know
Just
what I
a
mean?
cookout. That's what I mean.
That's
A
it.
cookout.
Yeah.
A cookout. Like,
There you go.
everybody cook. Everybody bring your signature dish with your signature sauce,
Nice.
and you know what I mean. Let's get like a, not even a panel of judges, but let's get a few people.
Actually,
Let's
this
get
is.
a
Oh yeah,
let's
no,
get
go
a
for it.
let's get a few people in, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if we can have like 25, 50 people somewhere by then, that would be great.
True.
That would be
True.
great. But, like, I'll take a 15, 20.
True.
15, 20 people. We have some good food, and
Mm-hmm.
then we can run a curbside pickup for, like, promote it and run a curbside pickup if they chat in and they get here within the 2 hours that we cooking, they can pick up some food or some shit.
True.
I don't know. The world is yours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the
True.
world is yours if you
True.
make it. So,
True.
if y'all want to participate in something like that, we got uh, contact info at sharetheshock.ca. Um, yeah, it does look way more professional to have a website, email.
Of
Yeah, it
course.
does. It
Of
does.
course.
I didn't notice it until it was mentioned, and when I tried to argue it, I was just like,
Mm.
but it kind of does.
It
So I
does.
think
It does.
I gotta, yeah, I'm gonna have to run with
Mm-hmm.
that. But okay, so, oh man, let's talk
Big
about
up,
the
ton up.
artists. Ton up,
Mm-hmm.
massive.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about some of these artists that you're working with now.
Yes.
Okay, who was the? Do you remember the first artist you worked with?
Ooh. Who comes to mind? The artist, his name is El Machitaro.
Yeah.
This was, whoa, um, maybe 2005, I would say. And he was a poet, Latinx poet. Um, he can get really gully in his stuff. A lot of people
Mm,
kind of were scared of his shit. And you know what
mm,
I mean? And it's interesting because he was like, he goes, based on how he's coming with it, he was like, he's like, I've always wanted a black woman as a manager. And at first I was like, I don't know, but you know what I mean? Because it's like, what is your real reasoning? But he goes, no. And then I like getting to know him and what he was presenting. And I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's see what happens. And it was, you know what I mean? It was a great experience because, as I said, I think he wrote a book and he did one CD, I think. But, you
Okay.
know, like doing it with like I think he got a couple of grant, like you know what I mean, like that process, and then
Yeah.
going to different awards things and all that stuff, and just yeah, like it was, as I said, it was a good experience, and
Okay.
I got my feel into like how it runs and like how people are seen and like you know people of color how we're seen and how you know like the people that are in the forefront that can do really great work know how to like position themselves, but how at the same time sadly our system met like fucks with us because they make it seem like, oh yeah, we want to hear your voice, but they actually don't. They just
We
want to
want.
say they do so that it looks good on paper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We want to hear your voice. Now here's your script.
Basically, yeah, basically. And
Love
then
it.
it's like, or it's like, ooh, wow, you guys are really like intense, or ooh, it's very spicy. And then all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, they're not really asking for you to come the next time.
No, what I like is the ones that find you where you are and then say they like what you're doing, but then try to get you to change what you're doing to the way they think you should do it.
Yep, yep,
Wait, hold on a second. You go to a gold mine and expect to find like platinum?
basically,
It doesn't work. You know, you can't go
basically.
to. I wouldn't even put myself on a platinum mine because like my attitude is like tarnish. So if that's the case, I'm like copper. you
Yeah, yep,
know what I mean?
yep,
It's like I can't like. There's certain things I cannot do. There's certain things I refuse to
yeah.
do, and subject myself to a lesser standard is one of those things.
Oh yeah. Well, it's interesting because it's like I think I also try to like dabble in different perspectives. So even doing interviews, like I like the idea of being a freelance writer because
Mm,
you can't pigeonhole me to say, okay, you know, you're going to do these specific artists only. I'm like, no, I can, you know, I want to have my own roster and you know, you will have a great interview. So it takes that right magazine or whoever to trust in me to say, okay, yeah, let's see what you could do. And I try
mm,
to so my key is, I admit, predominantly people of color, but as long as your message is good, or at least my version of good would be trying to put positivity in the world.
okay.
I'll interview you. I'll work with you. You know what I mean? I
Uh,
tried like from the genre really doesn't matter. As I said, it's the message.
yes.
So if your message is a little bit too like, I don't know, like I don't really gel with it well, I can't. It's hard for me to do it. Actually,
Okay.
yeah, I would say that it's hard for me to do it. I'm not saying I couldn't because I have had to do those, but usually those interviews are
Yeah.
very bland. It's just because I won't say forced, but I felt like I had to say something. But I
Okay.
didn't gel with them well. But usually they're not a lot. Like I've only had a few experiences that were
Okay.
questionable.
Um. Okay. That being said, do you feel that as a woman of color that you are like expected to work with a particular genre of music specifically, or like I mean like from based on the outside perspective? I know you as an individual will work with, you know, whatever genre you can agree the message of, but do you feel like other artists don't are lesser likely to approach you or more likely to approach you because of
So I used to write. So the first place that gave me this like opened and said, "Oh my gosh, Tanya, whatever you want to do." And every now and again they'd bring me somebody.
yeah,
But I worked with a group called Afro Toronto.
okay,
And initially, there were three friends that started it, and they were like, "Tanya, your vibe." I forgot where they met me, but one of the guys was like, "Oh my gosh!" And as I said, predominantly hip hop, but I also dabbled. And then from that, it opened the door. Like when I'm dealing with black or of color, I find they're very intrigued that I work with all assortments of people. So as I said, like I've worked with people where it's like say she's like South Asian in this metal band. You know what I mean? Like,
Nice.
so, or like a punk group where, you know what I mean, the woman is, you know, like, as I said, native, or like, as I said, all assortments. Because at the same
Okay.
time, it's like you're not in your regular position, quote unquote. But then
Yeah.
I can also say on the flip side too, in white genres, I find they say they want, oh my gosh, Tanya, because you do all this great stuff, but then they give me watered down shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like,
Um.
yeah. So the few that will let me say what I want to say,
Mhm.
chances are usually like punk or
Okay.
like genres that want me to like while out. But other than that, if it's like kind of like, as I said, politically correct or kind of corporate-ish, they're always like, oh, Tanya, can you do this lovely pianist from whatever? And I'm just like, what? But
Uh.
exactly what you just said. It's like, you know, I do all this other stuff, but now you want me to go and do, like, fine, I'll do it, but you know, or they're like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, can you talk to this scientist? You know, and then I was like, okay, I will, but at the same time, I'm like, this is not what I usually do. Like, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it usually depends.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's funny. It's funny. I
Yeah.
still, as I said, I like to run with it either way.
Yeah. Flexibility. It does make things a lot easier. When my dad say the person who can compromise gets the furthest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
it's one of those
Push through
things.
it and just say, okay, well, maybe it'll open the door to something. And to be honest, it usually does.
All
It
right.
usually does. So,
Yeah. So hmm. We're at the point here. We're at the well, close to. I say the halfway point, but I've said halfway point before and ended up talking for like 2 3 hours.
that's too funny. That's funny.
Okay, so I like to flip the script a little bit. We're gonna get back into the artists
Hmm.
after this, but I usually give the guest the opportunity to ask me a question or questions if
Okay.
they're to see if there's anything they might want to know about me or the process or the reasons I'm doing this. So now I'm gonna offer that opportunity to you.
Okay. What has been your craziest interview this thus far? And crazy means bad.
Crazy news bad. Okay. Who interview or
Or at
episode?
least or episode where you were thinking it's going to be one way and it does a quick turn.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is probably like I used to do this one podcast, and I won't even mention the name, so you guys don't feel like looking it up.
That's funny.
But and I used to bring my equipment to the place, like my camera, my
Hmm.
phones, my family. We all went out to this one location. Pretty much, for a few weeks. Even though everything, like I have everything here, but we brought everything there just to be reasonable because two out of the three hosts lived at the same location,
Okay.
right? And they're gonna start belly aching, and because they know who they are and they watch what I do and they
Hmm.
complain about it to people I know.
Hmm.
Boo hoo.
Hmm.
Anyways, so I'm there and everything's copacetic. Where we have our we have our food, we do our podcast. You know what I mean? We're sipping and we're smoking and we're what I mean, doing our thing, and then I'm asked a question. Now I'm I'm very charged where it comes to certain aspects of communication or conversation. So I try to avoid certain topics with certain people because of their blind ignorance.
Okay.
So these are two of the people I'm trying to avoid this conversation with, and they're asking me this question. Actually, one of them's asking me this question. So he asked me a question. It's based on um, I was talking about this instance where a man was paralyzed while trying to stop a fight. He was bringing up the conversation about a basketball player who was called a mean name, and the argument was, should he have been able to say something back to him that was lesser friendly.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay, these are two. I said, I need time to explain this situation. These are two completely different scenarios, but let me talk. And then it was like he expected an answer that I wasn't going to give him.
Mm.
So he started to get aggressive. So then
Ooh.
his friends started to get aggressive with him, telling him he should calm down and let me talk.
Hmm.
So they spent a good period of time arguing back and forth. And then when they came back to me and wouldn't let me talk on my own devices, in
Mhm.
my own broadcast, I just like, no, 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 no. Fuck this. I'm done. Shut everything down.
Mhm.
And I said, I'm gone.
Hmm.
Behind the scenes now, behind the scenes, I said he like the argument still continues, and I said, you know what? You have until I'm done putting this stuff away to calm down,
Yeah.
because I'm feeling disrespected. I'm feeling, you know what I mean? Like I
Mhm.
come from my house to your house with my equipment to put
Mhm.
on a show that makes you look good, that
Mhm.
gives you some kind of credential or credibility, makes you look like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And you're going to openly disrespect me and bring up a scenario that's gonna vex me, expecting me to just accept it? No, 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 no,
Wow.
no. So, needless to say, he didn't calm down. Like, oh, you want to? And he asked me if I wanted to fight him. I said
Wow.
no. Yeah, I said
Wow.
no. You're no competition.
Yeah.
I like, like I said, I don't talk about it because we're on camera.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
don't need. I'm already
Mhm.
6'3", 285. I don't need any of my horror stories to,
Mhm.
create any conflict
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
I'm trying to run for office and I put that out
Mhm.
there. I'm trying to
So
run
we'll
for a
say Ray
conciliary
Tay
position.
Tay, Ray Tay
Yeah,
Tay,
Ray
Ray
Tay
Tay Tay.
Tay, ting ting
Yes.
tings on ting on
Yeah.
ting on
Yeah.
ting.
Yes.
So so he's hyping up, and I'm just like, nah, like okay, I'm done, and I left.
Mhm.
I left the situation. It was just like it was very volatile.
Hmm.
I was like I had my family there, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, wife and daughter. So I'm there like, okay, you know what, we need to go. I
Mhm.
brought this one guy there who eventually later down the road ended up writing an article that pretty much made me or tried to make me look bad in my own magazine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He wrote
Whoa.
he wrote me an article. I read the article. I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm still gonna run it
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, I'm the bigger man, figuratively and
Mhm.
literally.
Mhm.
Um, there's so many things that have happened to me in the last year.
Mhm.
I don't even want to talk about the last 10.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I look at it and I'm just like, how do we get here? How
Mhm.
do we get to the point where, you know what I mean? People think it's okay to do you wrong and just act like it didn't happen. Because if
Mhm.
you were to hear the story from the other side,
Mhm.
I'm the bad guy.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I don't know how I'm the bad guy.
Mhm. But the key is, what did you learn from it?
Oh my gosh. Since I learned that I have a high tolerance for bullshit,
Mhm. Mhm.
I I had way more time on my hands than I realized.
Mhm.
There were other things that I was good at.
Mhm.
There were people that actually were willing to respect me for the limited things that I can actually do great.
Mhm.
And that if I'm gonna focus, if I'm gonna waste time on anybody, it's gonna be myself.
Mhm. That's it.
That's just the way it has to be,
Mhm.
because you know what I mean. And I can't say all of the time was a waste because you know what I mean. Again,
You had
back
to
to my
go through it. You had to go through it.
yeah, you know what I mean. But at the same time, it's like I noticed something that was very interesting. Before I started working with this group, I was nominated for a Niagara Music Award.
Hmm.
I worked with this group.
Hmm.
There was no mention. I was looked past, looked over. I stopped working with the group.
Mhm.
I was nominated again.
Mhm.
We were nominated again.
Mhm.
So it's just like, is there a reason? Because
Hmm.
like, I did more work. I technically did more work during that period of time
Hmm.
than I did outside of that.
Hmm.
But you know, it was still one of those interesting things. So I
Hmm.
just kind of, yeah, I just kind of had to look at it. It's like, well, have you heard of the Niagara Music Awards? Like, what's your take on the Niagara Music Awards? Let's, because you have artists that are in. Are your artists in? Are the artists in the Niagara region or?
No, they're a little bit everywhere, but I do
Okay.
know of people that partake. To be honest, I've never heard anything positive personally. It
Mm,
seems like it's kind of fluff to me. but then also I'm coming from outside in different, you know what I mean, places where certain awards are huge.
Hmm.
So I also have also heard that it's very washed, to be honest.
I have a tendency of arguing when I disagree.
Mm.
That being said,
Well, yeah, because that response that you just gave was amazing. So, as I said,
I
proceed, proceed.
I mean, I'm okay. Let me speak because you know, what I mean, let me speak the good. Let me speak the good because
Hmm.
there's two sides to every coin, like I said,
Hmm.
or like it's been said. Okay, the first time I went,
Hmm.
it was at Battlefield Church or something like that. The
Okay.
one in Niagara Falls, across the street from the Lundy's Lane cemetery.
Okay.
It was so elegant.
Nice.
It's elegant. I parked, I got a ticket that day. That ticket led to a complication which still to this day I don't understand,
Hmm.
and I still am owed money for, but it's whatever. God is
Hmm.
watching. He knows. And if he's not, CSIS is watching, and they owe me
Mm.
a whole hell of a lot. So,
Hmm.
um, so we park and we're like, okay, where is this place? We don't
Hmm.
see like what's going on, and we look, and like as we turn the corner, it's like this, like you see the lights and everything. You
Hmm.
go inside, there's like this red carpet. I think G3 was taking pictures at the time. Yeah, I believe G3 was taking pictures at the time. He did this interview for CHCH as you walked in, took a couple pictures, walked in, you got a goodie bag, and there was like these hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that. I think, yeah, hors d'oeuvres and whatnot, like little finger foods and everything. Can mix and mingle with everybody, you know what I mean? It was
Hmm.
proper still. And then, like, you went over to this church, like, you went over to the church section now where they have the pews and everything, and then that's where they put on the show.
Hmm.
So like I'm thinking, okay, this is dope. Like
Hmm.
they gonna do this every year. Now they move it all over the place. They went to
Hmm.
Scotiabank Arena.
Hmm. I
They've
heard,
gone,
yeah.
yeah. Last year it was virtual. They did that at Sessions on the River, I believe.
Hmm.
So you know, I'm just interested in seeing more categories for urban music. Like you know,
Well, I think that's why I was told that it's washed based on the people that were telling me that are of
mm.
color, because to them, it there was no representation. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, I lie. Of the 17 hip hop artists that were there, that were
Hmm.
selected of the 51
Hmm.
potential
Hmm.
candidates.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh my God, there might have been three or four. Oh jeez. Oh man, I am sorry. And they're gonna hold this again. You know what they did to me one year, and they can't deny it. Out. They took down the post. Okay, they were looking for judges.
Hmm.
And I said, okay, I know y'all ain't gonna look for Maestro, y'all ain't gonna look for Cardinal, y'all ain't gonna
Hmm.
look for Chauclair, y'all ain't gonna look for
Hmm.
Socrates, y'all ain't
Hmm.
gonna look for none of them. So let me suggest someone you're comfortable with. Y'all need to look up Bishop. And that's no disrespect to
Hmm.
Bishop, but that's the
Hmm.
order in
Hmm.
which I know them to be. Am I
True.
wrong?
True. True.
Okay. Okay. So y'all need to look up Bishop.
Hmm.
An artist who we've since reconciled an issue that was created by external bodies that
Hmm.
we didn't even have with each other.
Hmm.
But an artist mentioned that Bishop was too expensive and
Oh,
he
wow.
wasn't in it for the culture.
Hmm.
So I took a screenshot of that
Hmm.
and I sent it to Bishop
Wow.
because you know,
Hmm. Yeah.
I just
Hmm.
you gonna bring up a man's name in a
Hmm.
disrespectful way, I'm gonna
Hmm.
let him know that so he can correct that shit. So he's like, okay, tag me in the post. I tagged him in the post,
Hmm.
and well, he handled the situation very efficiently.
Hmm.
But then the post was taken down,
Wow.
and I was told that because of that situation, I was removed from contention that year.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So, needless to say,
Hmm.
with the 98th episode of
Mhm.
one podcast
Mhm.
and 239 episodes
Mhm.
of another podcast and 78 episodes of a third podcast, maybe, just maybe, you could be looking at the podcaster of the year.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I like the title.
Mhm.
Something of the year,
Mhm.
promoter of the year, podcaster of the
Mhm.
year.
Mhm.
I'd even say hip hop duo of the year
Mhm.
because Similar Differences has been released, and I think that's one of the best compilations to come out of Niagara region where it
Mhm.
comes to hip hop. And that's not just because Zach Burry's on there.
Mhm.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like speaking of compilations and combinations of artists,
Mhm.
Thorn in Their Side. Is that what it's called?
Yes. Yes.
You see how we did that
Yeah.
transition right
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. 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 That takes skill. It takes skill. Takes skill.
Thank you. I thank you. I tip my hat.
Mhm.
So, Thorn in Their Side. That is the latest release from Bonnie Hamilton and Marcus Black.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that.
So, as Marcus Black is a dub poet, it's one of his pieces. And somewhere along the line, he liked he has this great like bluesy, like, to be honest, I when I hear her voice, or when she is out of her usual elements of like adult contemporary, it's
Mhm.
like Liberty Silver meets Etta James, you know what I mean?
Ooh, I just got a chill from
That's
those
what
two
I'm
names.
saying. And
Okay.
it's like she needs to be heard. Like, that's how I see it. So he
Okay.
always in other settings was like he needed that person, and then how I connected them, he was like she needs to be on this track. Cuz we connected with a couple other people and it was decent, it was all right, but he was just like once he heard her, he goes, I need her to be on this track. So I was
Mm,
like, so I asked her because I was like, I'm not sure, mostly because, as I told you before, a couple record contracts she has for a couple tracks, and because of the adult contemporary, as we
mm,
both know, depending on artists, if they're in a certain genre,
mm-hmm.
sometimes they don't really like to step out,
Yeah.
mostly because they're like, yeah, they
Yeah.
stick to what they know.
Yep.
But she was good with it. So, you know what I mean? Everything just seemed to lay out really well. The dominoes just went down nicely. So it's good. So, yeah, so that was Marcus's track. And then Bonnie's like the vocal, the guest vocalist. And yeah,
Okay.
it's just, it's a
All right.
good mesh. And it's great when, you can bring people together,
Yeah.
especially that otherwise probably would not have worked together. You know what I mean? So,
I just got a really good idea for something that I think I can. Yes. Yes. Okay. Um. Okay. Hold on. Um. Give me a second. I have to
oh, of
send this
course.
message
Oh,
because if
no
I don't
worries.
send
No
it now,
worries.
I'm gonna forget. Okay.
Well, as
Um.
you're doing that, I want to say big up to Sugar's Kitchen and Catering.
Okay.
Look out for them. They're doing big things. Niagara. So,
Okay.
Sugar's Kitchen Catering.
Yeah. Take it over if you want to
Brah,
promote
brah,
some
brah,
people.
brah.
Promote
There you
some
go.
people, girl. It's
That's
your
it.
time. Give them
That's
some
it.
shine.
That's it.
Okay. Oh man. All right. So okay, to make a blank. Okay, we need to make a blank show. Yeah, I just figured out what I'm gonna do. And it's gonna be
Ooh.
maybe like a 20-minute, half an hour thing. I don't want it to be like Saturday is already dominated by like
Mm-hmm.
the Savage Circle and the Terrell Effect and LG's cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, like
Nice.
I can't wait till we can do that live from someone's kitchen. You know what
True.
I mean?
True.
Someone's backyard. Oh my
True.
gosh. Wait, this week we got FX May Vary.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're coming in and we going to chop it up. I think we're going to have to reverse the Savage Circle and the Terrell Effect or something like that.
Mm.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Or the Terrell Effect's going to have to be like other music until they get here. And then I don't know. I'm used to calling audibles on the fly though. Every good quarterback is. Uh,
True. There you go.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Nice.
this
Nice.
is
Nice.
Thorn in Their Side. Y'all look out for that. There was another
Yes.
song that Bonnie had released. What was that called again?
Well, she has like a lovely roster of
Okay.
tracks, which is
Okay.
great. And what I like about what she's doing is, as I said, she's getting out of her usual element, because I think any great artist will do that, because it shows their willingness to try new things, their openness, and not to be stuck in a specific category. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
As I said, um, in regards to adult contemporary, it's not bad. But as I said, based on who I think she is like in great company as like high priestesses to like admire,
Mm.
Liberty Silver and Etta James, that's like the ultimate. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because
Okay.
she's, yeah, as I said, it's the voice, it's the, you know what I mean, like you're willing to go there, and sometimes people aren't, just because it's
Yeah.
safety. People get used to their
Yes.
comfort zones, right? They're like,
Yes.
oh, my manager told me I shouldn't do this. So you're like, okay, whatever. But
Okay.
at the same time, her other great pieces are like Up From Love, which is a great track. It's on Spotify. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
That is
yeah,
the one. Up
yeah,
from love. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Madness. Okay. So you have that. You have that, and then yes, we're gonna have our special invite. Our invite only. And y'all can't get offended if you don't get invited. Just wait until the next cycle, okay? If you don't get in on the first show, which is gonna have to be like a massive show to get everybody else to want to go. You know what I mean? Y'all
Mm-hmm.
just wait, just like you did for the Savage Circle. Just wait your time, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
get you in. We'll get you in, and y'all like we hooking up people who have like artists who have like these tastes with our chefs or cooks. I can't even. Well, yeah, the people who cook, and they bring this spice and this variety, and it's just so nice. Last week we had pad thai. Wasn't my
Nice.
thing, but at the same time, I'm glad I tried it
Of
because
course.
you know what I mean. It got me comfortable with the new texture kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So.
True, true. Textures are
Hmm.
lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, when you said that, I thought of, so my personal little thing right now,
Hmm.
peanut butter and jelly, but
Okay.
the so my jelly though is ginger.
Okay.
Ginger, peanut butter, toasted. Oh, so good.
Ginger. You know,
Ginger.
you know what's funny? I just started putting ginger in my water.
What? I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's so good.
I've never thought about it as a jam. I ate it raw, and the
Hmm.
spice just kind of like it jarred my senses. So I
Well,
don't
I
know if
love ginger beer. So for me, it's like, oh, yeah, like it's, yeah.
ginger ale all day. Give me
True,
some
ginger ale too.
ginger ale
Yeah,
all day.
but
You know what I mean?
ginger beer is the next level, right? So, but yeah, the
True,
jam, I'm telling you,
but
it's jam.
ginger wine.
True.
Oh, ginger
You,
wine is like
yeah,
that'll
yeah,
raise your chest.
yeah.
That'll raise your
Mm,
I. Whew,
mm-hmm,
Lord.
mm.
Oh
True,
man.
true.
Yep, 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 yep.
Well, yeah, no, even ginger to cook with, like, nice, like not a lot, but just enough. It
Shred it.
changes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's very
If you
lovely.
shred like a little bit of it into the food, it gives it a.
Yep,
But you see me, I love to throw garlic in damn near everything.
garlic is lovely
Just
too. Yeah.
like even when I'm making eggs over easy, I'll
Hmm.
sprinkle some garlic on the yolk part of the egg.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and then I'll flip it over, then get it like over easy part. But then when you break the egg, all the
Hmm.
garlic is soaked into the yolk, so that it actually has a
Mm,
nice, yes, yes, it has
nice,
a nice flavor to it. I either
nice.
use that or the Soulicious rub. This is the sauce. So we got
Yes,
the rub, yes.
yes. I
So
haven't tried the rub yet.
the rub is proper still. It
Nice.
is,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's got a nice spice to it. It's like it has some flavor,
Hmm.
but like, and it's like the more you use the more of the
Mm,
flavor you feel, but it's just like you know when like you could tell. You know how some spices you sprinkle it and it doesn't look like it's enough, so
yeah.
you add more. Like this always looks like it's enough when
Okay,
you
nice.
know when it's enough, kind of
Nice.
thing, because you can see it.
Nice.
So yeah. Oh
Nice.
my goodness. Oh man. So what are the plans for like when venues are more receptive to shows and performances?
It would be great to do some lovely outdoor things, as we've
Hmm.
talked about it briefly. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? How this phase 2 thing is going to happen, who knows?
Hmm.
But yes, it would be great to do some nice outdoors events. You know what I mean?
Parks.
Yes,
Parks are
parks.
outdoors.
Yes,
Backyards
parks.
are also outdoors.
That's true too.
I
That's
know
true.
one person. I know one person who I have specifically spoken to for the last 2 years about doing something significant in his backyard, and he has been interested the whole time, but it's just like things haven't lined up. And then when they did line up, COVID happened, so it's just like now we're
Mm.
just kind of waiting to see.
Is that your
But
friend with the chickens?
no, no. Although, like, I should talk to him about doing a barbecue there because he's got a nice backyard too. Oh
Yes.
man, shout out to LG. Lonsley's
Hmm.
cooking, you know what I mean, every Saturday between the Terrell Effect and Savage Circle. Check
Nice.
us out on Saturdays. We dominating the airwaves. You know what I mean? Well, I shouldn't
Nice.
say dominating because as soon as I say that, someone's gonna be like, "Oh, really? What makes you think you're so special?" Because I'm the most consistent thing that's been happening out here online
Hmm.
since 4 years running. I don't think
Nice.
like I've gone to funerals and still done my show
Hmm.
because the people who I lost wanted me to do good with my life, so they didn't want me sitting there mourning them when I had other things to do with my life. And I
True.
don't expect anybody to mourn me. You get 24 hours, do what you got to do, and then
Hmm.
move on because I'm
Mm,
gone. There's nothing, no amount of
mm,
crying that's gonna bring me back. You know what I mean? And I
mm,
say that enough times that people are like, oh,
mm,
really? You're so no. I'm just being real. It's something
mm,
we got to talk about. We've talked about it. On to the next thing.
mm.
The next thing for us is boom. You see that? That's the logo for Effects They
Nice.
Vary.
Oh,
You know what I
nice.
mean?
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
That was designed by Charlotte, and I was lucky enough to be able to kind of create, like, bring it to life, so to speak.
Nice.
She had it drawn out, and I was just like, okay, that's awesome. And she explained to me what she like had in mind for it, and I'm a very cryptic person. Like I like the puzzles and all
Hmm.
that kind of stuff. So when I look at that, I'm just like, a lot of people might just see lines, but if you see back there, it actually says, well, I don't know if I can trace it, but if you
Mm,
look close enough, you'll see it says FXMV,
nice.
right? And that's
Nice.
FX may vary. So like
Hmm.
I was just like, okay, let me like I like helping people. I'll trip over I'll trip
Hmm.
over shit to help people, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's just how it is. So I mean, I saw something in them that, I wanted other people to see too. And
Nice.
like it took me, excuse me, a few years to establish some of the connections that I have
Hmm.
and some of the connections that I've made, but I like to direct people in a good course. So I just hope, that in whatever happens with anybody I've worked with, that they thoroughly assess any actions they take because I don't expect anybody to take my word as gospel. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Because humans are innately selfish and manipulative.
Mm,
Don't
true.
believe me? You ain't played charades for a baby.
Hmm. Hmm.
You ain't played
Hmm.
baby charades.
Hmm.
That little one will make as much noise as possible, and you be dancing around trying to figure out what you're gonna get.
Hmm.
But that is what it is. So you know what I mean? I
True.
just, like I said, I hope for the best for everybody because at the end of the day, what you wish on anybody is gonna happen to you first.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, you
Yep.
know, anybody who's offended that I've discussed issues relative to their person, unfortunately, if I existed in that same space and time and shared that experience, it's just as much my life as it was yours.
That's it.
Deal with it. Oh.
Hmm. That's it. It's true.
It's-
It's
you know
true.
what I mean? It's like, come on now.
Hmm.
Like, can I live?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's next for Tanya Vividly?
Mm, actually, so I'm going to be a part of, well, for my books. So
Yeah.
my more recent book is called Night Sky, and
Okay.
so that's pretty much prose, like poetry. And I'm doing a piece for CIUT,
Mm,
um, and actually I'm doing that for tomorrow, but it's for the end of the month.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so and that's big up Toronto,
Is
and
it?
yeah,
All right.
and yeah, that should be good. And as I said, just I've been doing some promo stuff for my book as well, and a couple shot, you know what I mean, like doing my movements,
Okay,
you
so
know.
like, so you're a force right there. You're trying to
Mm.
act all timid and humble and shit on me. I'm like, she just don't. I know I don't blame you for not putting it all out there, but as
Hmm.
long as on your own time you're meditating and putting it into the universe, you're good.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Just
Hmm.
just keep the positive flow of energy and just make sure that you like trust me. Sometimes I'll tell some like sometimes I'll be like, I'm gonna go make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, fully knowing I'm gonna make a turkey bacon club
Yeah,
because I don't want my, you know what I mean? Because
for me, no
I,
pork, but
oh,
I know what you're saying.
okay, I will
Yeah,
bear that in mind.
yeah.
So like, okay,
Turkey
just
bacon for me.
turkey bacon. Okay,
Yeah, or
see,
chicken.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, all right,
yeah.
that's good to know. I just learned this interesting thing about
Hmm.
steaks actually.
Hmm.
Shout outs to DUI because he told me this when he was making a steak. We
Hmm.
christened the barbecue with a steak and so what was it? Steak and jerk chicken and oxtail, I think it was.
Hmm.
But if you take your finger, like
Hmm.
your
Hmm.
index finger, and lightly press it against your thumb,
Okay.
not to the point like you don't want to see any color change,
Hmm.
right? And then you take your other finger
Hmm.
and you push right here in the meaty part of your thumb.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what a rare steak feels like.
Hmm. Wow.
If you switch it to your middle finger touching
Hmm.
your thumb
Hmm.
and this light, like I said, just barely,
Interesting. Huh.
that's medium
Hmm.
rare.
Hmm.
The third one is I think medium well,
Hmm.
and then the fourth one is well.
Hmm.
I
Interesting.
didn't know. I
Hmm.
did not know.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to share that information with as
Hmm.
many people as possible because
Hmm.
I want their mind to be as blown as mine is. And you don't have to take my word for it. Grab yourself a steak, cook it, and every 5 minutes, check the temperature. After
Interesting.
after the first, yeah, every cook it for 10 minutes, and every 5 minutes thereafter, check the texture.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I will say for myself, on the rare occasion I have steak, I'm usually like, make sure it's dead. So,
Yeah.
yeah, make sure it's dead. I want that shit cooked well done. You know what I
Burn
mean? Well
that bitch
done.
down.
Basically.
Burn that
I
bitch
want to
down.
visually see that it's dead. You
You
know
know
what I
what I
mean?
mean? Like,
Blood in it,
no.
I'm like, what's this? What is this?
Mm,
Oh,
like,
you're trying to poison me. Okay, I see. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah.
And I've heard people say you can eat it blue, and I'm just like,
Mm-mm.
that's like, don't get me wrong. If I was on, no,
That's
never. I
called
don't think I could.
vampire.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. I just, and
Mm-mm.
I know you're a woman, but still, bro's a lot easier. It just
Mm.
flows off the,
Mhm.
it just flows. I don't know.
When I
So,
watch people do that, I'm like, I see you, and that's about
mm-hmm.
it. You know
You
what
know
I
what I
mean?
mean?
It's like,
And just put up your neck collar and
basically,
just,
I see you, I see you.
I,
All right, yes. Mhm. Mhm.
just one time, one
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
Oh man, I think
Mhm.
we can put on a great show. I mean, like, let's talk about before we close out. Let's talk about um what happened at the Justice for Black Lives
Yes.
celebration of the 1 year anniversary. How did
Yes.
you like I said, I'm still buzzing about that. How did you feel?
I thought it was a really great extravaganza, which is great. It's,
Okay.
especially for the Niagara region, to be honest, because of so much problematic shit
Uh,
that has built up and not many people know about.
mm-hmm.
For this, Sherry props, you know what I mean?
Big
Because
ups.
yeah, yeah. Because this
Yep.
is one of many things that yeah, she should really like give talks, go to schools, you know what I mean? Go to
Y-
city hall, all that shit. Cuz they
Yep.
need that. They need that.
Yep, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. They need to have an awareness month where like you literally just the whole month make people aware of like their effects on other individuals. Just like, okay, did you know that, as much as you think it's a joke to make fun of this person's weight, deep down inside, they're actually pulling themselves apart because they don't know why they're at that point and trying to change it, but they can't. And you talking about it is just making it worse.
Mhm. Yep.
Whew, that was a
Yep.
mouthful. That was a mouthful.
Yep.
Yeah, if y'all got going through some kind of complication and experience in your community as a person of color, you know what I mean, you might want to reach out to Sherry Darlene, but
Mhm.
have the facts, have foundation. This isn't just a goose chase.
She
You know
should
what
even have a helpline
I mean? At
like
Justice for Black
for
Lives Niagara. Yeah,
but
that
like
would be
for
a good.
like people that are feeling like they're growing through shit and nobody's listening to them. She should have something where they can leave, like it's like leave a message to say, whatever situation is happening, so
Mm,
it could be addressed, you know what I mean? Let's
yeah,
bring the communities together. So even if you've got to pull people from, you know what I mean, like as I said, um I could pull Ontario history of black, Ontario history of black society, like all like so many different like outlets. ACCA, like bring it together. Let people know this, it stops. You know what I mean?
mm,
That's what
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, no, that I just messaged her about that
Yeah.
actually. Nah, because you can't let these kinds of ideas go by without addressing them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gonna take a collective to make it possible, but hey, we've come this far. We're living a reality that was once a dream. Hitler's probably rolling in his grave under like looking at the fact that he created technology that's being used by people he tried to enslave.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Media is very powerful. i
Mm-hmm.
i didn't realize this, and it's like some people will be like, oh, some people don't watch while we're live just so I don't get that live number, but as soon as I'm done,
Mm-hmm.
they'll click on and they'll watch the stream, and they'll see, oh, that's what he did, okay, skim through, oh, that's what he's talking about,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
okay, that's who he's, okay. Shout outs to all of y'all. Shout outs to all of y'all.
Haters love to hate.
I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
if I didn't have that many, I wouldn't feel this great.
Mm-hmm. True.
Hmm.
True. True. True.
Yep. Okay, so we got this video from the Justice for Black Lives
Nice.
celebration. I want to run this for you.
Okay.
It's gonna put us into the background. It's a couple minutes, but yeah, y'all tune in. This is Lushy Bantan on the track. Just we
Big
did
up,
a
Lushy.
yes, man. Yes, man. Let me put that up there, actually. The man, Lushy Bantan. You know what I mean? Check out his Instagram. Bam, Lushy Bantan. And I should have his email. There's his website. Bam. Check out lushybantan.com, as well as Justice for Black
Mm-hmm.
Lives. This is their
Nice.
edit of the Black Lives Matter song. So let's check it out.
Nice.
No justice, no peace. Help me on my journey. Help me on my way.
And the only way to get unstuck is for all of us to come to the table. And people that didn't want them here, they wanted me to do the exact same thing that got us here. You wanted me to hate a group of people because there's some bad apples. There's a lot of bad apples, and we're coming for them.
Marcus Garvey. Il Jack Desai, Bob Marley. Marcus, Mosiah Garvey. That's us self-reliance as a necessity. From a small Babylon can kangaroos. Racist, bad mind, envious and jealous. From a small, this a system made corrupt. How jump over Mount Teacher be telling us. From a small Babylon, you know the righteous. Brainwash, education and false Christmas. From a small, me tell them enough, it is enough. Dirty Babylon, give me back all me. I have a dream. Dr. Martin Luther scream. Mandela fighter till him tired. It seems Malcolm X. No excuse or sorry. We need to get it done by any means necessary. We won bank, we won school, we won library, we won Black Wall. Ship it out, no apology, time for cash out. 500 years of slavery, repatriation. They couldn't talk into family. Black lives matters. Matters stories. Africa we say by any means necessary. Black lives matters. Matters stories. I and I represent His Majesty. Black lives matters. Matters stories. Africa we say by any means necessary. Life matters. Matters stories. Nothing Babylon never you can't change way. 500 years ago, who not think this a go so? All this BS where black people under. All the book no work for nothing. We know in a them there something. Now we are rising it up. No better move no what. Black is duty, absolutely. Tell me real, it is my duty to be judged, to be jury, to protect us from them. Can you hear me? This the weary Babylon can be so scary. Remember slavery, we fear daily, quiet to them con. Yeah, they predicate, but man, let's get in a song. Change check this, I fight the revolution. Justice RL, shout Louis Farrakhan. Dr. Spear, business, no introduction. Life matters, matters stories. Africa, we say by any means necessary. Life matters, matters stories. I and I represent His Majesty. Life matters. Matters stories. Africa we say by any means necessary. Life matters.
One voice,
Matters stories.
one message,
Nothing Babylon
one
never you
unity.
can't change. Life matters. Matters stories. Africa we say by any means necessary. Life matters. Matters stories. I and I represent His Majesty. Life matters. Matters stories. Africa we say by any means necessary. Life matters. Matters stories. Nothing Babylon never you can't change.
Help me on my journey, help me on my way.
Nothing Babylon never you can't change way. Nothing Babylon never you can't change way.
Help me on my journey, help me on my way.
Nothing Babylon never you can't change way. Nothing Babylon never you can't change way. Matters stories. Africa we say by any means necessary. Life matters. Matters stories. I and I represent His Majesty. Life matters. Matters stories. Africa we say by any means necessary. Life matters. Matters stories. Nothing Babylon never you can't change way.
Oh, Canada, we stand on God promise.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Bruh, bruh,
Yeah,
bruh, 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 bruh.
that was honestly, I get chills. I choke up every time I see that.
Yeah, that was very nice.
That
Yeah.
was awesome. So next year we're hoping to, you know what I mean, make something even more monumental happen.
Nice.
So, you know,
Nice.
let's keep the good fight up. This isn't it's not a moment, it's a movement. You know
True.
what I mean? It's an everyday thing. It's like
True.
assert yourself in every way possible without putting yourself in a disposition. You know what I mean? Like don't like you don't have to be aggressive to be assertive. And I
Mhm.
think that's something that I want to put on a slogan. You don't have to be aggressive to be assertive. You don't have to go out there, I'm gonna fuck you up if you don't do what I
Mhm.
tell you to do, motherfucker. Fuck your problem here. Nah, excuse me. I need you to understand that your conduct is creating a complication for my person. And if
Mhm.
you fail to acknowledge your actions and take accountability for them, you will be held responsible by way of a body of your peers.
Yeah.
Straight up.
True. True.
Straight up.
True. Very
So,
true.
yeah, this has been episode 98.
Nice. Congrats. Congrats.
Thank you very
This
much.
is lovely. This is lovely.
See, I have two special episodes that I got to do. I got to do one for the 100th episode, and then I got to do one for the 2-year anniversary. So that's episode 100 and 104.
Nice.
So, got to figure out what the heck that's going to be. I think I might
Nice.
have it. I'd like to have another panel conversation like we did this past Sunday.
True.
But
True.
and I'll invite you out to that actually.
Yeah,
as
that's
a
nice.
matter of
Well,
fact.
that's why I put these up too as well, because it's like justice for Regis and
Yep.
Africville, because reparations needs to be there too,
Mhm,
and to our brothers and sisters of indigenous background, the First Nations people, Canada, you gotta like work your shit out, you know?
Yeah, I have an article actually written up by DUI, well, edited by DUI for the magazine this coming month. So, if you are interested in trying to figure out what you can do as a non-Indigenous person to help their plight, then read this month's issue of Culture Shock magazine. Issue 10 will be available. Crossing my fingers, I'm working on it, ladies and gentlemen. I have had a shit ton of things to do this past week, but I'm almost there. I think I have like four or five pages left to squeeze together, but it's coming together nice. So it should be ready by Friday, Saturday. So, check with me by Monday and it'll be online.
Nice.
Latest Monday is going to be online. So if you don't see it on Friday, check Monday because Saturday is a write off with the Terrell Effect, LG's Cooking,
Nice.
and the Savage Circle, which will feature, all of which will feature, well, to the best of my knowledge, all of which will feature FX May Vary. But I got to coordinate with them as well. Ditch.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So
Nice.
thank you for everybody who tuned in. Thank you for your
Yes.
time. For
Yes.
Tanya Vividly and Rodrigo, who I know is working in the background.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This has been the blog saying, bless up. We out.
Respect. Bye. Thank you.